Hey guys, so this is the Panda cubism tutorial. So I'm going to do cubism on this side today, but you can pick either side. Remember last time we drew together, we did the middle, which is realism. So now we're picking an art style of cubism to do on the next side. Cubism is about geometric shapes. It's about straight lines and angles. Okay, so everything that's rounded over here is going to become a straight angled line. All right, so let's get started. Also, other thing you need to remember, everything that's connecting on this side, you cannot draw over this line. This is the no passing line. So if I was going to make a cubism panda, I would start here. I would make a crazy little angle. I would make sure that all my lines are straight, no matter how much I want to follow those angled lines, those nice curvy lines, I should say. I would make them. All your lines need to be straight, every line you make. And then you can erase that extra little bit, so that way you can see if you rounded too much in one spot or not in another. Like this spot looks like it's rounded, so we're going to fix it. Bring it straight across, and then bring that over. Okay, so I have like an angled ear now. So on the inside of my ear, I'm going to do the same thing. Angle, angle. The hardest part would be just figuring out your drawings and getting everything just right, and then moving on from there. I'll make this a little bit wider so that way it looks more like an angle. There we go. And then I'm just going to erase my guidelines as I go because I don't want them to distract me later. So I've got an ear so far. Right in this area, in order to shape the face, it's going to be a little bit more trickier. So we're going to bring this down straight, but then let's see, how do I want to do this? Because I'm going to break this all up into little different angles, because let's do this piece first. I want to make this, and it's okay to make stuff come out a little bit further than normal. So you notice that I still kept it where it would normally connect. So that's good. And then I'm just going to erase this little line that's inside it. And then I'm also going to put in a couple different little lines inside there, because when you do this, you want to split your stuff up. Think 3 geometric shapes from math, like all your triangles and pyramids and your cubes and your rectangles and your prisms and stuff like that. You want your panda to have all those different little angles going on. All right. So when I take this one right here, I'm going to take this angle right here and I'm going to bring it down, but I'm also going to bring it right back out, because I'm going to create a shape right in here, because this is cubism. This is not perfect straight stuff. Like, we're not rounding, we're not realism right now, we're cubising. We're cubisming. I don't know. Some strange stuff. All right, so I must be in like the triangle mood right now, because everything seems to be just like this. And I'm going to use this line that we cut this guy, like split him up with, and that's going to be one of my angles right in here. So we got this figured out. Something cool that we can do right up in the ear, since I'm thinking of this right now, we can put a dot right in the center, and you can have lines that come from each point where you just like made an angle in the ear, and then later on we can fill it in, and it could be actually pretty interesting. I would say break things up, because it's going to make your artwork a lot more interesting if you're doing things like this. So if you break things up like this, you're creating that cubism style, which is really neat. And some of you may like this style and some of you may not like this style. And you know what? That's okay. to not like a style. I mean, I don't like every style that I come across in art, but that doesn't mean that I don't try it. So I'm breaking this up a little bit, and I want to make this one kind of come up like this. And just by using these extra little lines, I'm also creating like some little bit of volume going on, which is kind of neat. And I was thinking right up here, I'm going to create another little line. So that way we finally have like a little bit of a rectangular rhombus type shape right here going on. And I wanted to create a little bit more of a shape up here because this is kind of where the head kind of like curves more. So I just wanted that to do that. And I'm going to keep this part pretty big right in here. But this is it for the drawing part for the panda. We're not going to go crazy and do the background right now. We're just going to focus on, I'll break that up a little bit. So now it's just focusing on how you're going to fill stuff in. And today I'm using crayons on this side because I was thinking I was going to use colored pencil on that side. And I was also thinking about what you guys may have at home. So keeping that in mind. Now your panda doesn't have to stay black and white if you don't want it to. I'm completely fine with pandas changing colors over here. I was thinking of going with like in a blue direction. So I'm collecting blue crayons right now. I'm going to get an indigo out. I'm going to get a, I don't know, this one's like a blue-green. It's pretty bright. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that, but I might do a regular blue. And then I'm also going to use this cadet blue. I don't know. All right, so here's the plan. I'm going to use my darker blues for my ear because my ear is normally black. And then I'm going to use my other blues down in here. And he's just going to have like some blues going on. So I'm going to put, this is the cadet blue. I don't know. Crayola has some crazy names for stuff. And I was just going to every other one it right here. It seems to work out. I mean, it's like a gray blue, so you're not really losing a lot of it. I'm gonna pick like maybe 3 or 4 colors to stick to. I wouldn't do more than 3 or 4. It gets like really crazy, and you're gonna want some sort of like, and I'm not gonna say a pattern because I don't think we want a pattern, but we do want some sort of like uniform going on here. So on the outside of this ear, I'm gonna use this blue, this cadet blue. I don't know, it's like the gray blue, like a storm. Call it sea storm blue. I think they should give me a job naming crayons. Life would be good. I'm going to use a gray in here as well. I don't want to use black because black's just like a typical panda color for the ear, but I want to kind of mix it up a little bit. So, and just by adding this gray, I'm creating different angles because I have different colors going on, which is really nice. And I'm going to hold on to this gray because I'm going to want it for some other spots when I go to use them for shadows and stuff. And then I am going to, let's see, I got 2 spots that need something. Let's see here. What do we got for crayons? Just imagine. Gotta be careful. I gotta test some of these crayons out. You never know. Trickery, you know? How Crayola makes them look like they're one thing and then all of a sudden you're coloring and they're another color. The stress. Kind of like how this was really bright compared to the rest of the ear. But if you don't like it, don't do it. Alright, so I got like this edge of the ear done, and I'm going to do this right here with this blue. They kind of match up with the grays and the blues that I got going on here. Alright, so that cubism little piece is done. I'm going to do some pink. inside this ear. And you're not just filling in with any random color. You're, you're trying to do like a little bit of a pattern or keep like the same sort of colors in the same area so you can still sort of tell what your picture is. Because cubism is not about it not looking like what it is, it's about it looking like, you know, like what it is, but in like a geometric form. Kind of like when you guys play certain video games and they're all geometric forms. There's no like rounded angles and stuff. Like that Minecraft game. So this is what I got so far, and it's actually looking pretty neat. I'm liking it. Okay, so with that being said, now we're going into these areas that are usually white. I'm going to do them all different shades of blue. Okay, so I'm going to start out with, no, I'm not that one. Let me see. I'm going to start out with this. I don't know, it says indigo blue, but we'll see. Yeah, it's kind of an indigo blue. So I'm going to start out with this one. And I'm going to continue it down over here. I like this color. And I like the way that it makes it look like it has like a shadow with it. And I'm going to put it down over here as well. And I might use this again, but I'm pretty sure this is only going to use it like 3 times. And there are some different ones that I'm going to go back into and create like a little shadow for, but I'll do that last. So this is that really bright blue. Just figured why not. So I'm going to do this one with it. Now you don't have to do it this way if you really like the cubism look and you don't want to fill stuff in. Just go over your lines with like a dark color, like a dark black or something, so that way you can see them and you'll have that nice cubism look as well. Still not quite sure about this color choice, but we'll see how it ends up. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. No, we're going to leave those two just the way they are. I was going to go back in and do something else, but I changed my mind. You know, it's just got to be that way sometimes. We're going to do this one. We're going to do right here. We're going to do right here. And it's okay that 2 colors are touching each other that are the same. I can always go back in and create a line so that way you don't have to see that. Okay. I am going to do that's really bright. No, we're not doing that. Well, and don't mind me. I'm just testing blues over here. Ooh, I like this one. This one's going to come in because it's nice and light. That's going to be my side piece. And I'm going to put it right down here as well. Now remember, don't go over your line. Don't ruin up all that nice realism that you've already worked so hard on. And I'm going to put this right up in here. I really enjoy this light blue, and it's really making it so that you have areas that are lighter that are going to stand up a little bit better. Okay. And then one last piece, huh? Now let's keep it the same light blue because I really want it to kind of pop out. And I also want to be able to go back in and show you guys how to create a little bit of shadow around the edges of your cubism to help them pop out. So right now your cubism is really kind of flat. So here is a fun trick. Let me see. Okay, so you have this other blue. You can go back in and you can add a little bit of a shadow that comes around the edges of you're basically outlining and you're creating that line, that cubism line, and it's just going to pop out a little bit more again. So just by going back into some of your lighter areas, you can create those lines, and that cubism is going to help pop right out. It's also going to reestablish those nice lines. All right, and I want to take this purple. I just want to, because this bluey gray color is kind of gone right here. So I just want to make a line right on it. And I want to do that with a couple of these darker ones too, because I really do think that when you outline stuff with colors that are similar to them, but have a darker value on their scale, you really help things pop out and they make your artwork look a lot more interesting. So with that being said, I'm also going to come back in here and redo these lines and pop out these pinks in here. So just picking the darker pinks to do this with. See the big difference that we're getting in here? And I'm also going to come back in with a little bit of red just to darken this one up because we're getting a lot of purples, but I want this to, like, you want to be able to tell the difference in some things. See, that really made a big difference. So this is your cubism one. If we were in class, I'd tell you to do a background. If you want to do a background, you're more than welcome to, like, fill it in with one solid shape or do like a bunch of different geometric angles and stuff. But this is the panda. All right, guys, have a good day.